And as long as you are on autopilot, you're going to be continuously harnessed by this, whatever we want to call it. You want to call it the ego, as A Course in Miracles explores it, right? Or you want to call it the matrix, whatever whatever name we place on it. It is this presence that takes over whenever you fall asleep to God's reality. And now let's really make a strong contrast. What is the reality of God? Timeless, changeless, boundless, with the signatures of peace, love, and joy. True peace, true love, true joy, true meaning, unconditional. These are the foundational pillars of God's reality, and they are not in the future. This is another thing that I think is so important for us to grasp and to really drop in on, because so many, even course students, even deep spiritual aspirants, they're deeply committed to their path, see enlightenment as a future event, see God as a future event, which is okay, yeah, living in hope. But the idea that liberates us, the truth that makes us free, is not in the future, because God does not depend on time. Truth does not depend on time. And that's the beautiful news. That's the good news. Truth depends on nothing, but your experience of truth depends on your seeing it, accepting it, embracing it, living in it, right? Truth is like the sun. It just shines, and we can cover ourselves, right? But we can create a little illusory world like this, and we don't see anything, and we just are going to create our little uh, little slice of heaven. No. Of hell, unfortunately, because heaven is shared. Only hell is individual and very personal. And that's why the they that I talked about earlier is so unique for everybody. It's so unique. It could have any number of names, but it all stands for one thing. And it stands for the second power, which is the big divide, right? We go from the awareness of oneness to the belief in multiple powers. And this belief in multiple powers is what brings on fear. Whenever you experience fear, you are in a state in which you are the most limited, the most powerless. So, as it's been rightly called, fear is the mind killer. It's killing off your ability to wield the power and presence of God that you are. And the only reason for that is because you've identified as something else. So as long as you continue to identify as the body in a world in which there are all kinds of different bodies, each controlled by their own will, and so we have these multiple wills and multiple interests and multiple powers, that world, in that world, it's impossible to feel safe. It's impossible to have true security. You can build big walls. You can build big walls and big locks, and yet you'll still have fear in your heart. But in the other world, in the world of recognizing the truth as it is, you could have no doors, no locks, and still be at peace. It does not mean that nobody's going to come in. It doesn't mean that your dream character is now immutable, invincible, and is God itself. Mm-mm. The dream character is still the dream character. But your identity is liberated from the contraction that the dream character identity would offer you. And in this way, you naturally start to experience that ultimate reality that we've been talking about, the reality of God, that peace, love, joy. I wonder if I can invite you to open to it now. Open to it. Open to it by realizing that the only thing that is stopping you from experiencing God's reality is the activity of denying it, the activity of saying that, well, no, instead I believe that there is this threat and that's why I can't fully relax, or I believe that whatever it is. So let's step away from that for a moment now. And I want to invite you to close your eyes and let's do a little meditation.
Silence of existence amidst the echoes of time. Awareness meets the boundless, a dance so sublime. I am aware, whispers the soul in a realm so divine. Beyond the avatar, beyond the mind, where the eternal light shine. Awareness, awareness, in this cosmic way, timeless, changeless.